Sir Jim Radcliffe 25% takeover of Manchester United is edging ever closer. It's closer than it's ever been. Some sources today in the media saying that this could be announced today. I'm going to go through everything that's been brought out this morning, everything that's been talked about. All media outlets are all over this right now. We're going to talk about it right now on the show. Welcome along, everybody. This is FUTV, Forever United TV. Get your comments in the chat. Get entering into the poll as well as one of them up there now on the chat line as well. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to FUTV as well. If you are tuning in for the first time, we're bringing you everything that is Manchester United daily, constantly, and breaking news right to your screen. Hello everyone, hope you're well. And yeah, we didn't expect this one today. We didn't expect the news of Sir Jim Radcliffe's takeover being so close. Some media outlets saying that this could be announced today. There's more detail to this, what the announcement means, what we can expect after the announcement, how long it's going to take before we can actually see Sir Jim situated in Manchester United and what role he's going to have. Everyone that's coming along with him, the targets that are coming along, there's more and more details coming out today, which says that really Manchester United are very close. When you start getting all these stories come out about who's actually going to be coming along with Sir Jim, we've sort of rumoured things like this, but there's more and more media and creditable media and journalists coming out with stuff this morning, and I feel like this is now bubbling up to a point where we can actually expect something announcement wise very, very soon, and it may even be today. You don't know, but let's go through what has actually been said first of all. But yeah, we have got other stuff to talk about as well. A transfer target that Manchester United cannot ignore and have to go for this January. There is in fact reports today of a limit of what Manchester United can do with the whole setup of meeting a certain player cap and how many players can come in and go out of a football club. So there's more reports on that as well. Are United strangled and shackles on in terms of what we can actually do in terms of our quota as well this January? Loads to get on and loads of information coming out this morning, but yeah, we'll get into it. The main story is obviously Sir Jim Radcliffe. I'm just going to read through what's been coming out so far. The breaking news today, and this was brought up by TalkSport, but the Times, the Guardian and a few others now are all over this and everyone is reporting it. Manchester United are close to confirming Sir Jim Radcliffe's acquisition of a 25% stake in the club. The £1.25 billion deal will be subject to Premier League approval, which can take up to 8 weeks. Now, if you remember back to the show that we did with the Mail's Chris Wheeler, and he was saying, I think we'll see Sir Jim Radcliffe in situ around about February time. This sort of all coincides with what he was saying in terms of the approval and the fit and proper persons test that the Premier League must do for any new owner coming into a football club. The whole approval process takes around about 2 months, 8 to 9 weeks. So that would lead us into sort of the end of February time, which is what Chris was saying on the show last week, in fact. So looking at this, you would go, it all sort of aligns with how the protocols work and what happens in these sort of situations. But what can happen and what we're expecting to happen very, very soon is the actual announcement that it is actually all going through, and then we move to the next stage, which is the approval process, everything being done. But at this stage, they wouldn't be announcing anything if they didn't think that all of the approvals would go through anyway. It should be, I'm not saying it's going to be a formality, but at this stage, for the powers that be and the players involved in this, we're not expecting anything to come through and scupper any deal at this stage with the Premier League. I think this is why it's taken so long to get to this point. But an announcement has been needed, and I think everyone needs clarity on what is actually going on. And I think they've realised this, and this is why we're at this stage. There is more on this, which I'll get through now with you guys, so just bear with me as I get through all of the headlines and everything. This one's coming from the Times. On Sir Jim Radcliffe's deal with the Glazers, the final settlement is likely to give the petrochemicals billionaire full say on any major football decisions. These major decisions include transfers, the right to hire and fire managers also. That is the big one. So the clarity that we've all been waiting and wanting to hear has been, if he does take over the sporting operations of Manchester United, what does that entail? What power does he have? What will he be able to say goes, and what can happen on his own as such? He will have to pass things across with Joe Glazer and things like that, obviously, but I think what this is like clarity on what he has a full say of. So whether or not, we're still waiting for the minor details to come out in terms of what was just said there from the Times, from Dave Dickinson from the Times, is yes, he has got full power of that. Does full power mean that he can do that on his own without the say-so of the Glazers? This is what we will be looking at and trying to get information on, because as a fan base, this is all we can sort of look at and be interested in. It's what power Sir Jim has got. If it's not including Glazers and their say, then that gives me a little bit more confidence going forward. I think with Sir Jim having say on football matters and everything Manchester United do going forward from this point, when we get the announcement and it all gets cleared, probably February time, like I said, then if it's just Sir Jim on his own with no Glazer involvement, that gives me a lot of confidence going forward that we are actually moving in the right direction. And I think it's big news in all of this. You only have to look at everything else which has come out as well. So the other news that I was talking about in terms of all of the journalists bringing out the extra information about what is going to happen when Sir Jim comes in, this has all started piling in this morning all of a sudden in the last hour. So you get the feeling that something is going to be happening soon. Jamie Jackson of The Guardian also says Manchester United are very close to finalising the announcement of Sir Jim Radcliffe's 25% stake in the football club. An announcement could come as early as today. Now that's where we're leading with the today sort of news. However, journalists and broadcasters and media outlets are looking at this. That's up to them and how they want to do it. But some people are actually jumping onto that this actually could be announced today. Massive news if it is announced today, because then we will know where we sort of stand with everything. But more interesting reading on this. This one's from Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic. Industry sources at Manchester United say Sir Dave Brailsford, is aiming to appoint a sporting director to oversee operations as well as a transfer specialist to refine recruitment. So David Brailsford is going to be a major player in this. Whether you like that or not, the man is experienced in the sporting industry and getting the very best. Yes, it's in different sports. He's dabbled a little bit with Nice, obviously. That didn't go well at the start. Hiring and firing very quickly. A bit shotgun start for Sir David Brailsford there. But they seem to have found their feet and everything is sort of levelled out a little bit now. But when you look at it and when you go down into detail on it, I was just looking through some of the other headlines as they break there. Sorry guys, please excuse me. But yeah, Manchester United now, I feel, are in a position where they are close to making an announcement with everything that's coming out right now. I think they're confident in what's about to hit the news and what's about to be said. We'll get clarity over time, I feel. Not full clarity until February. I feel like that when all of the approval stuff has been done is what we'll know with Sir Jim Radcliffe, what he's doing, how much power he's got, what he can and can't do, and that will be the big one there. But the announcement would be everything. The announcement would be everything we needed to know, what was happening going forward, because sort of, I'll not so much feel easier, but feel easier in this process, because I can already see in the chat, which I'll come to in a minute, is it's taken so long and it's dragged out for so long. At least we can actually now confirm that Sir Jim Radcliffe and his team are actually taking over sporting control, because, as we said, we've talked about it enough, we've reported on it enough, and I think right now we just need to get a little bit of something back, because it's been a little bit up in the air. It's gone quiet, then we started hearing things again. I mean, right now, with the way that the media has all gone in on this today, it's very interesting, because TalkSport, The Independent, The Guardian, there's a lot going on at The Athletic are reporting on it as well. I'm just checking who else has put it out there now, and yeah, pretty much confirming that something is going to be happening soon. And this all coincides and leads along with Erik ten Hag's press conference today. And again, you didn't want this sort of news breaking as a manager. You wanted to be looking ahead. He's had an alright week, good result at Anfield, full week on the training ground, not had to travel anywhere or do anything extra. It's been a comfortable week for Ten Hag at United, and then the press conference comes today and all of this news drops right on your lap with all of the media and everyone who I've been mentioning there who's going to be in on this press conference today. So he's going to get bombarded with it, and you'll get the normal answer. That's got nothing to do with me. I leave that to the people above me to sort out, the directors and everyone, CEOs like that, and they will deal with all of that. I'm here to talk about the game against West Ham this weekend. That's the answer that you're going to get from Ten Hag today. So don't expect much to come from the press conference regarding this. This is all news above Ten Hag, and it needs to be taken away from him anyway, and he shouldn't even be having to deal or answer questions about this. So I look at this and I go, yep, he's sort of fallen on him a little bit unluckily. He'll get questions, and you know what? There'll be wasted questions in the press conference this morning, or this afternoon, sorry, because he's not going to answer him. And then he'll have lost the question, he'll have moved on, and it'll be pushed through, and we won't get any clarity about what's actually happened on the training ground this week, where we are improving, who is back, and everything like that ahead of the game this weekend with West Ham. But yes, that's where we're at exactly right now. So I'm going to get to the chat and find out what you guys think of all of this. Cheers for tuning in, everyone, by the way. Make sure you do hit that like button. We are aiming for that 100 mark again, as always. Halfway there right now, so if the mods can push this out, let's get liking the video. Are you excited about this news? I know some people are just bored of it and don't care, but there is some that actually look at it as a positive as well. How many times have we heard that today's the day? We need clarity and we need it to be done. For us, the fans and the players, and Eric, bring back Mason. Paul, I'll go in right in on absolutely every single subject there. Jim, better have a plan ready. Today's date since March. Yep, that's it, Jordan. It has been dragging on an awful long time. Top of the morning, Colin. It's been close to 2 months. I think this announcement has been just dragging out and winding everybody up. Ultimately, it's all down to the Glazers again. Everything drags out with the Glazers. Tinashe says, I watched Grassi over the last 18-12 months, and I think we should make a priority sign on this in January. We are going to be talking about that today as well. I've got some information, some interesting information on that as well for you guys. That's coming up in the next part of this show. Rob says, hi Adam, hope you're good, mate. Let's hope Sir Jim can turn things around for the better, but still Glazers out for me all day long. Yeah, no, you know what, in time hopefully we'll hear if there is any plan to actually pursue the rest of the shares and the bigger control in Manchester United. Is Sir Jim Radcliffe's approach right now one of getting his foot through the door to then take over full operations of Manchester United? Is this the first step? Will we get clarity on that announcement? I think that's important as well. I'm so excited excited with 25% ownership of the club. Ecstatic not, says Malps. Yep, I get that. Breaking news 1 hour later, probably announcement next week. That's it, Ashid. We could be getting that as well. We could. I like to talk about things in terms of the takeover. When stuff like this comes out and it's breaking, I like to look why all the media has actually gone in on this one. So this is why I'm like talking about the groundwork and other stuff behind the scenes, like the announcements of certain people coming in certain positions. Why have the media all gone in on this today? What's been said? What's been leaked? Try and get down to the source of everything. Please do keep liking the video, guys. Tickle the like button, smash it, do whatever you want. Koala, good morning to you. Hello, mate. Won't make no difference with the Glazers. Rat is 25%. Don't give him control. You're being misled. And where's the money gonna come from? Wherever Sir Jim Radcliffe legally makes it happen and makes it come from. We don't know exactly how much cash he's got spare. We don't know. The acquisition of this is why it's taking so long, but there's no way, with everything going on in the world right now, that there is going to be any way that this is corrupt or not done the correct way legally. So Jim Radcliffe has got no chance of like scraping this together or doing this illegally or doing this corruptly at all. I feel like Sir Jim Radcliffe has to make this happen and make it happen the right way. So yes, I feel like this is why everything is taking so long. It's a complicated, complex acquisition. So yeah, we may find out again where this money's coming from in all of this when it starts to get clarified with everything. Sir Jim Bounce says, Kaz, Sir Jim Bounce, yeah. I don't think it'll have any effect on the pitch, unfortunately. Right now, anyway, for our season. He's having to loan money to give to the Glazers. Absolute jokes. Let's just see. We need to transform our transfer strategy. Yes. Good morning, you beautiful people, says Graham. Good morning, Graham. Hope you're well. Do Glazers have veto power? This is what we're hoping to find out, Ashid. Madhouse. The Qataris will return with an 11th hour bid. Hopeful. I'm not hopeful on that one. That would be nice, but I don't see it happening. Carlos says, if this Sir Jim deal goes through, he is not borrowing the money. I thought you couldn't buy a club on debt anymore. This is why it's so complex and why we need to know. And like I said, we're talking about this right now because we want to know why everyone thinks this is happening and why we're going to get the announcement. Why? If buts and maybes, all clarified, how Sir Jim has raised the money, where the money's come from. If it's all cleared by the Premier League, do we need to worry? I always worry if it is in full borrowing that we've now got more debt being hampered on the club because Sir Jim's debt is Manchester United's debt. That's the ultimate concern in all of this. And where are we going to start raising money from if we don't start performing on the pitch? All worrying and concerning topics and things that we need to talk about. Ultimately, we need to know if Manchester United are going to change when Sir Jim comes in. So yeah, we may have our concerns about how that money's been raised or where it's come from. Should we have concerns about that? If it's not going to hamper United, are we going to be able to start being a bit more clever and savvy in the transfer market because Sir Jim's there? There's lots and lots and lots to talk about. There's so many little subplots with this Sir Jim takeover, and everyone wants to know about everything. We can't possibly get to the bottom of everything, but little things. And I feel like everyone and the mood in the chat and everything right now with this possible announcement is where is the money coming from has come up this morning more than anything else. We don't want to be hampered with more debt, and I can feel the worry and concern in the chat. Who will have the last word on signing, Sir Jim or Ten Hag or the Glazers, and what if they don't agree? Well, this is one thing that has been talked about actually today, and that is Sporting Control. Again, there is now hope retained from Sir Jim Radcliffe that the deal could still be made officially today. Jamie Jackson, again, a few more reporting on that. I'll just read out what I said at the start, just in case you guys missed it in terms of this deal and what it means. Is Manchester United are close to confirming Sir Jim Radcliffe's acquisition of 25% stake in the football club. The 1.25 billion deal will be subject to Premier League approval, which can take up to 8 weeks. Sir Jim Radcliffe's deal with the Glazers, the final settlement is likely to give the petrochemicals billionaire full say on any major footballing decisions. These major decisions include transfers and the right to hire and fire managers. Now that's the key one. It's if Sir Jim Radcliffe has the rights to all of them big decisions, transfers and managers and stuff like that, then is that without any interference from the Glazers? Are they just giving the power to Sir Jim and he deals with it? If that is the case, I can feel swift transactions and more smoother, quicker, easier transfers going forward and bigger decisions made regarding managers, contracts even, and what we talked about the other day in the termination of contracts and dealing with players that are not working. This is all now dealt with by one part of the club, which is the Sir Jim Radcliffe part. So that's going to be interesting in how that all works. And I think that's what I'm looking at as the most important bit. What is Sir Jim's power? What is his role? And how much say does he have just on his own? I think that's what's important in all of this. What time is the presser, Adam? I think the presser is around about 1:15 or 1:30 UK time. So yeah, just after lunch today. I need to get average players out of the squad. Squad age down to 23, 24. I think that is where we're looking to go. We are looking to bring in more youthful players that we can build. Anything official from the Rain Group? I've not heard anything, Jake, fully official from them or announcement-wise. I keep on searching. I will wait for anything coming through. But yeah, I'll keep looking as the video goes along in case I can bring you anything live here. Will 25% make it make sense? 25% make it make sense, Jake, is Sir Jim Radcliffe's foot in the door. We knew this all along. He couldn't afford Manchester United outright, so he's been clever. He's been a businessman. He's offered more than what the shareholders should be getting for their shares, probably double, just to get in. Now, if he can make Manchester United better and more valuable, i.e. being more competitive in the transfer market, in the Champions League, Premier League and things like that, then the value of the club goes up. He starts to see money on top of his investment as well. We don't want to hear that. Obviously, we want to hear him wanting to invest in the club and improve Manchester United, but ultimately he is a businessman and he is going to want to see a little bit of return out of this as well. It was always going to be the case. There was only the Qatari bid that was going to be anything sort of utopia, sort of United, and the fans would be fully on board with as one. This is going to split opinion again throughout the fan base, and proof will be in the pudding when he's actually in control and we start seeing results out of people that are being brought into the football club. Again, more news here is so I'm just going to bring it now. Manchester United are close to the line on regulatory caps set by the Premier League and UEFA, meaning the maximum number of deals possible in January is 2 loans, according to internal communications. Whether that's 2 loans or whether that's 2 cheap players, any deal coming from Manchester United in January has to be the right deal. It has to be a cheap deal. I will keep you afoot with everything takeover wise as it happens, but I wanted to move on with the show and bring up something regarding the transfer side of things, and a player that Manchester United I don't think can afford to miss out on. The targets for Manchester United, according to David Olstein from The Athletic, this January, and this only works if they are cheap deals and affordable for Manchester United, and can be balanced with exits from the club as well and money brought in from player sales. They basically have got no money. It has to be a cheap deal or a make-weight deal with someone else going the other way, something like that along them lines. That was Ornstein from The Athletic who was saying that yesterday. Manchester United, I feel, cannot afford to let Grassi go. They cannot afford to miss out on this player. Grassi, the striker who's tearing it up for Stuttgart at the moment. If you didn't know who he was, I think he's a player Manchester United can get at easily. Now, what's happened with this is Stuttgart had Grassi on a contract which was a cheap contract, which was them probably not expecting Grassi to be the levels that he is now and scoring the goals that he is now, which is 19 goals and 2 assists already this season in just 16 games. He's competing alongside record-breaking Harry Kane for Bayern Munich right now. That's where Grassi is for Stuttgart. Guinean striker, so he is going to AFCON before anyone brings that up. He will be going AFCON in January, so we won't get the best of him yet. But I feel like that is a bonus for United because not many teams will be looking at that as such. The bonus of this deal with Grassi, obviously, minus the way that he plays and how well he's playing right now and the goals that he's scoring, is he's going to come into Manchester United. He will definitely help us in that striker department. We've got a player there that is scoring goals freely. Yes, Bundesliga is a different ball game, but... and this was coming from Christian Folk as well regarding the interest from United and Newcastle on Grassi. Cheers for the super sticker as well, DJ John T. Thank you very much, mate. Hope you're doing well. Keep liking the video, please, guys. We're almost at that 100 mark now. Not too far away. I think 10 away right now. So please, everyone in the chat, just give the video a like. I'll get into your comments again regarding Grassi shortly, but what Stuttgart have done and why this is so interesting for Manchester United is the initial contract that Grassi was on. He was only signed last year for Stuttgart. Is that had a 15 million buyout clause. 15 million. Yes, this is why I'm bringing this up and why we've gone into a bit more detail on this. 15 million for Grassi. So Stuttgart tried to buy that contract out and offer a new one with a better buyout clause. As to fend off anyone coming in for Grassi, he has rejected it outright and is happy to move in January. He's at 27 now. He knows he's got one more chance to make it to the big time. Premier League, La Liga, big team, big club. He'll probably get decent wages as well. This is his last chance. So he's seen this now. He's playing the best football of his career. He's very direct, a good striker. He's not done much beforehand. Obviously, this is the first we're hearing of him because he's in the Bundesliga at a better team right now and he's tearing it up. So, yeah, there is jeopardy there in terms of you don't know how he's going to adapt to the Premier League, but 15 million with affordable wages. Can you afford to turn that down now, even at a risk? We're nearly paying that for a bleeding loan fee for Amrabat right now. If we can't grab together 15 million to bring in a striker that's in form at the peak of his career, then United need to just give up completely in transfer windows, because that is just unthinkable. 15 million. He's rejected that new contract offer from Stuttgart and he's all in on leaving. So yes, I can see where everyone might see, yeah, look, Bundesliga, not brilliant. Different league, Premier League, it's a lot tougher. We've got our striker there in Rasmus Højlund now who needs a bit of help. He needs a bit of support, someone else to come in. We're not scoring goals. We could say it's a tough league, but what are Anthony and Marcus Rashford offering us right now? What is Tony Martial offering us right now? We've got a player here that could come in and could just hit the ground running and be a big help. And for 15 million? I mean, come on. The captain, Anton of Stuttgart, has said, look, we need to put a self-inflicted transfer ban on Stuttgart right now if we can. They know what's coming. They know that Grassi is going to end up leaving his football club. And with Manchester United, and like David Ornstein saying in The Athletic, how cash-strapped we are and how we're struggling with everything going on, this is a deal I don't think that Manchester United can ignore. 15 million, I understand all of the worries and concerns with everything going on regarding the Bundesliga and him not being fit for the Premier League. It's a different level and everything like that. I get all of that, I do. I understand that argument, but I just feel like we're not going to lose anything if we do bring a player in for that amount of money. And if he comes in and helps us this season get towards the Champions League, it's pretty much paid for. He's not going to be on Brewsters and big money and big wages. So for me, I just feel like it's a no-brainer. It really is. One more like to hit that 100 mark, guys. Please get a like in the video. There it is. Thank you very much. We've hit the 100. Well done, everybody. Congratulations. Let's get into some of your comments again. United Spotlight. I agree with you, but he does at least put a proper football structure in and can't be worse than what it is now. I think that's him replying to W's3 regarding Sir Jim Radcliffe's takeover. Keep getting your questions in on that. Never see Grassi. Never heard of Grassi. Are the big clubs in for this guy? Nope. Well, big clubs like Newcastle, you could argue they're not a big club, but mate, we're not that club anymore. We need to find these deals. This is where it's going to be different. Don't expect United to be in for all of the big Galactical signings every summer now. We are done. So Jim Radcliffe's coming in to actually try and be a bit different. Find the gems. We're not going to be spending big money ever again. We're skint. We're skint. There's not a chance in hell that Manchester United can go out and spending 70, 80 million pounds on players. I think financial fair play has completely caught up with us, and we're now in a position where we have to completely restructure. Players like this is where United need to go. And let's be honest, in the past, United have always made their superstars, haven't they, and made their legend players. Everyone becomes a legend at United. That's what it used to be. We didn't bring in the Galacticos. We didn't bring in the big stars. We made the big stars. So maybe we have to go back this way. I mean, right now I'm looking at Garnacho and Mainu as our best two players. They cost us absolutely nothing pretty much, apart from the fee that we spent with Atleti to bring in Garnacho as an academy player. So I look at it and I go, our best players are the ones that cost us nothing right now, really. So anyone who's on a big... I mean, you look at our biggest signings right now in that team. What is it? Antony, Sancho, Harry Maguire. Is this what we should be doing? spending that amount of money, or should we be going for like the 15 million Grassi, where we're not concerned about his performances? There's not as much pressure on the player because he isn't worth that much in the transfer market. I'll be honest, if Stuttgart got their way, his value goes up to 50, 60 million, and we don't get this player. These are the deals that United should be in on now, I feel. I think it's riskless. 15 million might not happen for him, but it's 15. We paid as much bleeding for loan fees before. We can get a decent player here, I feel. That's how I'm looking at it. Adam, in 5-10 years from now, how is the FA going to approve a deal for a full sale to the Rats if he's just going to keep all the debt? I haven't got the answer to that one. Dobie is free. I understand your concern. These people are in position and in power in these big businesses because they know how to get around all of the legalities. They know the loopholes that they can get through. We can only sit back and try and learn and educate ourselves on everything that's going on. And it's difficult for us because we're not as educated as these people who know what they're doing. We can only look, read, listen to experts and let them try and explain to us how this actually works. This is what we're all waiting for. This is what we want to know on the finer detail side of things. If Sir Jim Radcliffe has got Manchester United turning over a profit because we're doing better on the pitch, the structure is better, we're not paying stupid amounts of money, and Manchester United are self-efficient, self-sustaining, which we should be, with the amount of money we've got coming in from endorsements and sponsorships, then I can see that's how he gets it. I don't know how else. We will find out though in time. Far from what we wanted. Full sale, says United Spotlight. I know. It's not going to happen, guys. We're just going to have to come to terms that the Qataris are not coming back in. United aren't going to be completely sold. The Glazers are still going to be here for a while longer. Just accept that little things are changing and it still may benefit Manchester United and be better for us going forward. That's all we've got. We just have to deal with it. We've got no say and no power in this. Grassi, I don't know a lot about, but 15 million, 100% worth of risk. That's where I'm going with it, United Spotlight. That's how I look at it. It's the Bundesliga. Anyone can score in that Farmers League. Well, we didn't manage to beat Bayern Munich, did we? And Dortmund smashed Newcastle twice pretty much as well. Finished also ahead of PSG in that group. So, good players in the Bundesliga. Very good players. And let's be honest, Bellingham made his name in the Bundesliga as well, didn't he? John Carlton, the Rat today, then next year, then he's not taking over. Can you imagine though, Tom, if that happened? This is why we're talking about it. Like, we know what's been said today and we know what we can sort of get excited about in terms of what might be happening. But if it doesn't, then the conversation spins completely 180 and now we're talking about the complete demise of Manchester United, because if Sir Jim Radcliffe falls through, we have wasted a year of the Glazers trying to find added investment, and then we're stuck with him with nowhere to go because there's no way of us making any more money without change coming in at Manchester United. We are done. If Sir Jim Radcliffe does not come in, we are finished as a football club, in my opinion now. I didn't want Sir Jim Radcliffe to come in the first place. I wanted full sale. But we're looking at it now and we're going, Manchester United with just the Glazers, we're exactly where we are. And we are struggling big time. We're having to do all of this. Sir Jim Radcliffe brings in pulling power and brings in different people with him and a different outlook altogether. Yeah, we can do this on our own with the Glazers in charge and not Sir Jim Radcliffe. But would you rather have someone else telling the Glazers that you can't do this? This is better for the football inside of things for Manchester United. I'd rather have that, to be honest, than the Glazers on their own. People say, better the devil you know. I understand that comment. I understand that. But we know that Sir Jim Radcliffe works in a different way to the Glazers. Sporting wise, it's a better outlook for Manchester United, and that is what That's what we need. That's what it's all about. Have I missed any super chats in there? Just let me double check right now. DJ John again, sorry for that, mate. Do you think we can play with 2 strikers, 4-4-2? Yes, I do. I do, DJ John. I feel like it is an adaptable formation. We talked about this the other day, didn't we? We can definitely work with 4-4-2 and adapt it with 2 strikers, 100%. Looking at what Manchester United's options are in terms of bringing players in, I'll just double check actually for you guys to see if there's anything going in extra news wise regarding the takeover. When he arrived at Manchester United, Eric Ten Hag asked John Murtough for a midfielder in the mould of a Frankie de Jong and established a centre forward and a left-footed centre back. That's come from Laurie Whitwell. Ten Hag's demands has been let down by the current regime at Manchester United. That's what we know. That's a definite. I'm just going to try and see if there's any extra info on what is going on. No, where we are right now is where we was at the start of this show, with Sir Jim Radcliffe announcement of taking over the 25% of Manchester United closer, and possibly even an announcement today. Will it be today? We don't know. Press conference is coming up at lunchtime, where I've said that we will be getting 0 answers from Ten Hag on this matter. It will just be football related, as it should be. Ten Hag shouldn't be dealing with the stuff above him. So yeah, let's just wait and see what comes through the course of today. I wouldn't have expected it until the new year, personally myself, but like I said, we was trying to figure out today, and why we've done this video is because everyone, all the media has gone in on this morning that this deal could be done very, very soon. So I look at it and I go, no smoke without fire. The announcement must be soon. You're looking at all of the stuff regarding Dan Ashworth as a sporting director coming in for Manchester United. All the news now about what's happening with the CEO, what Sir David Brailsford wants to bring to Manchester United with a sporting director and a recruitment officer as well. It's like a double team. We talked about that with the likes of Mitchell and Ashworth the other day on the show. All of this now is coming to a head. I feel the talking is pretty much done. We want clarity on how this deal is being constructed and how the money has been raised for Sir Jim Radcliffe buying his 25%. We want to know exactly what power he's got alongside the Glazers. Does he need to go to the Glazers still for certain decisions, or can he make full-on sporting decisions on his own? Everything like this, I feel, is what we're waiting for and what is the big news right now. But in terms of the football and what we can do right now, the reality and the facts, we definitely should be in for Grassi, in my opinion, for that price. Other than that, like Ornstein said, in terms of player acquisitions, we're limited to loans and cheap deals, possibly 2 at max. Then you're looking at the likes of Icardi. Not good enough for me. I don't want that sort of loan deal at Manchester United. I really don't. And that is the concern. Loan deals are a worry. When you've got a permanent deal on the table there, 15 million, I mean, you pay loan fees of that value. Let's get a player in there that might actually do something for us and contribute this season. I feel like that's a sign that Manchester United cannot ignore. They cannot ignore it. Do get your likes in, guys, before we finish up, please. Let's try and get to that 150 mark. We're about 25 away. Let's go, guys, please. Let's get into a few more comments. Paul Griffiths, he's not taken out alone. He's a shrewd businessman. He's not got where he is without being clueless. No, he's not. He knows what he is doing, and somehow he has found a way around this to make it work for him. We all want and need to work it as it is now. What's that? Sorry. We all want and need it to work. It is what it is now. Ah, got you. Yeah. No, exactly that, Daz. We can't change anything. Some people don't like the fact that it's only 25%. They wanted a full takeover. That is not going to happen. We have to accept what is happening right now. The reality is Sir Jim Radcliffe will come in. We just got to hope that he can actually make things happen for United going forward with what we've got. I'd rather Sir Jim Radcliffe be dealing with this skint United than the Glazers. because they will still find ways of just making excuses and heaping more debt onto Manchester United, more than I feel Sir Jim Radcliffe would. I mean, he's putting people in place. The Glazers were happy to have businessmen running all sporting operations at the club. Sir Jim Radcliffe's bringing in the best in class, if you listen to the stories and everything that's been reported. So I think that's where it's important to look at what Sir Jim can bring. I feel like he is looking at a completely different way and will run Manchester United in a the complete opposite to how the Glazers have. And that is a positive for us, isn't it? That's what we got to look at as saying Manchester United moving forward look a little bit better in the way that we run, rather than full on debt, still running like an absolute bag of turds, and the Glazers in situ on their own. This is better than what was there before, in my opinion, and that's what we have to look at in this. But guys, yeah, that pretty much is everything so far today. One day closer to Christmas, one day closer hopefully to news on a takeover. It may come today, it may not, but guys, it's been brilliant having you all along as well. Get your comments in below when the video goes live. Let's see what the poll says before we finish up. What impact do you think Sir Jim and his team will have? Improve United over time is winning the poll with 48%. Have an instant impact, not many people going for that. Just 7% think he'll have an instant impact. No change from what there is now, 35%, and worse than it was with just the Glazers, 10% people think that Sir Jim Radcliffe is actually going to make Manchester United worse than what it was with just the Glazers. Well, for me, I think he can only improve. Someone taking some power away from the Glazers has to be a positive, surely, doesn't it? Has to be. Great show, says Stephanie. Great show, says Paul. Thank you very much, guys. Adam, we are cursed. Expect more of the same. Sorry, Martha. I only just got to your comment there, but have a good Christmas, everyone. Yeah, no, we'll be back this evening anyway, guys. We're looking ahead to the West Ham game. We'll see what Ten Hag said in his press conference as well. And yeah, we'll get into all of that and try and get back and bring up some more news on what we've been talking about this morning as developments happen, if they do indeed today, and we get some form of announcements. But it's getting closer, and we will be on top of everything on Forever United TV here and bringing it all to you guys as we always do. Don't forget to like the video on your way out, everybody. If you are tuning in for the first time, please subscribe, hit that bell notification for all your updates on latest videos coming out on the channel. But for now, guys, that is it. Cheers for watching, cheers for tuning in. I'll see you later tonight, everyone.